Imagine two investors. Both investors have a strong belief of AI, so they both decide to invest in the semiconductor ETF. And 5 years later, one portfolio significantly outperformed than others. How is that possible if they invest in the same industry ETF? Many people are interested in investing in AI and semiconductors, but they are afraid to invest in single stocks. As a result, many investors are looking for good ETFs. Today, we are comparing two most popular major semiconductor ETFs. One is SMH and XSD. They both invest in the chip companies, but they are built using completely different philosophies. Once you understand the difference, choosing between them will be much easier. Okay, then let's get started. Let's start with SMH ETF. SMH follows a market cap weighted strategy. That simply means the larger a company becomes, the more money the ETF automatically invests in it. Think of it like a basketball team. If you have the league's biggest superstar, you're going to give that player the ball more often. SMH works exactly the same way. It puts most of its money into companies that are already dominating the industry, such as Nvidia, TSMC, Broadcom, and AMD. If these companies continue leading the AI revolution, SMH usually delivers outstanding returns because its biggest positions keep getting bigger. But there's another side to that strategy. Since a handful of companies make up such a large percentage of the ETF, your performance becomes heavily dependent on them. If Nvidia has a fantastic year, SMH benefits tremendously. But if Nvidia or another top holding experiences a major correction, the ETF can also fall much harder than investors expect. In other words, you're making a concentrated bet that today's industry leaders will remain tomorrow's leader. Now let's look at the XSD ETF. XSD uses a completely different approach called equal weighting. Instead of giving more money to larger companies, it gives nearly every company a similar allocation regardless of its size. Nvidia gets roughly the same weight as many much smaller semiconductor companies. At first, that might seem strange. Why give smaller companies the same importance as an industry giant? The answer is because today's small company could become a tomorrow's superstar. Rather than betting almost everything on current winners, XSD spreads its bets across the entire semiconductor industry. This creates a very different investment experience. During periods when Nvidia, Broadcom, or TSMC are doing almost all of the heavy lifting, XSD often underperforms. SMH because those companies don't have enough weight to carry the entire ETF. However, if the rally broadens across the semiconductor industry, XSD can outperform. Imagine memory companies begin booming. Chip equipment manufacturers receive massive orders, semiconductor materials companies rally, and smaller AI-related businesses start growing rapidly. Instead of relying on just a few mega-cap companies, XSD captures gains from the entire ecosystem. That's an important point many investors overlook. The semiconductor industry isn't just Nvidia. AI chips cannot exist without foundries that manufacture them, equipment companies that build lithography machines, packaging companies, testing companies, wafer suppliers, specialty chemical product producers, and dozens of other businesses. Every AI data center depends on this entire supply chain. If AI spending expands throughout the industries instead of remaining concentrated in a few companies, XSD may have much greater upside than many investors expect. SMH asks, who are today's biggest winner? XSD asks, who could become tomorrow's biggest winner? Neither approach is objectively better, they simply reflect different views of the future. If you believe Nvidia and the largest semiconductor companies will continue dominating AI for many years, SMH ETF is probably the better choice because it gives those leaders the largest allocation. But if you believe AI spending will gradually spread across the entire semiconductor supply chain and create new winners beyond today's megacap companies. XSD ETF may be the better fit because it provides much broader exposure. However, many long-term investors chose the third option. Instead of trying to just buy the one strategy, they actually choose the other strategy by both ETF. SMH provides concentrate exposures to today's winner, and while XYD offers diversification across the broader semiconductor ecosystem. One focuses on the established giants, the other looks for the next generation of winners. So in the end, this isn't really question of whether SMH or XSD is better ETF. The real question is, do you believe this current giant dominant like as AI leaders can keep going and then become dominant this world? Or do you believe the entire semiconductor ecosystem will grow together? Your answer to the question will likely determine which ETF belongs in your portfolio. Thank you for watching my video today. I'll come back with another fun and interesting stock and market insight. See you in the next video.